It only took a few years, but we finally got our wish. On Friday, multiple outlets reported that college football has agreed to an expanded playoff of 12 teams. As of now, it's expected to be here in 2026, but it could come earlier based on how much money is on the table. We're going to talk about the news, what it means for college football, and get the reaction from this historic day all across the college football world. Before we get to today's video, make sure to smash that subscribe button and turn on those notifications if you're new to my channel. If you're watching this video, odds are that you love college football, and odds are you aren't subscribed to my channel. So make sure to subscribe to one of the best college football communities here on YouTube. Also, make sure to drop a like on this video as well. It helps out with that YouTube algorithm and helps share the video with more college football fans. Plus, it only takes a second to do. Now, this certainly didn't come out of nowhere, as playoff expansion talks have been picking up steam over the last few months, but I just never thought we'd actually get expansion, let alone to 12 teams. Here's exactly what went down today and how we got to this point. The Board of Managers, a group of university presidents and chancellors that oversee the college football playoff, voted today to expand the current 14 playoff into a 12-team playoff. The decision was unanimous. The new format, consistent with the proposal the board reviewed in the fall and winter of 2021 and 2022, will begin in the 2026 college football regular season, but the board has tasked the College Football Management Committee with assessing the possibility of beginning the expanded playoff as early as the 2024 or 2025 regular season. Mark Keenum, who's the president of Mississippi State and the chairman of the College Football Playoff Board of Managers, issued this statement. "This is a historic and exciting day for college football. More teams, more participation, and more excitement are good for our fans, alumni, and student athletes. I am grateful to my colleagues on the board for their thoughtful approach to this issue, and for the resolve to get expansion across the goal line, and for the extensive work of the management committee that made this decision possible. I'm very pleased we were able to get this accomplished, and I look forward to expansion taking place. The 14 playoff has been highly popular and successful. I believe this new format will be even more popular and successful." The management committee will implement the board's decision, including determining such matters as the dates for the games, broadcast entities, revenue allocations, sites of the 11 games, and the terms of the agreement. So, I know what you're thinking, how exactly is all of this going to work and what's the plan? Well, here's what the board approved and what we can see with this new playoff format. The 12 teams will be the 6 conference champions ranked highest by the selection committee, plus the 6 highest ranked teams not included among the 6 highest ranked conference champions. The ranking of the teams will continue to be done by a selection committee whose size, composition, and method of selection will remain substantially unchanged. The management committee will modify the selection protocol as required by the change to the playoff structure. The 4 highest ranked conference champions will be seeded 1 through 4 and will each receive a first round bye. The other 8 teams will play in the first round, with the higher seeds hosting the lower seeds either on campus or at other sites designated by the higher seeded institution. So number 5 will host number 12, number 6 will host number 11, number 7 will host number 10, and number 8 will host number 9. The model allows for first round games to be played on either the second or third weekend in December in a way that best accommodates the format and the participating teams, with at least 12 days between the conference championship games and the first round games. Subject to reaching agreement with bowls, the 4 quarterfinal games and 2 playoff semifinal games will be played in bowls on a rotating basis. The national championship game will continue to be played at a neutral site. Subject to reaching agreement with bowls, the 4 highest ranked conference champions will be assigned to quarterfinals bowls on selection day in ranking order, and in consideration of current contract bowl relationships if those bowls are selected for the rotation. So for example, if the Pac-12 champion were ranked number 1, the Big Ten champion ranked number 3, and the Rose Bowl were a quarterfinal site, the Pac-12 champion would be assigned to the Rose Bowl and the Big Ten champion would be assigned elsewhere. With the 4 highest ranked champions assigned to quarterfinal games and bowls, the opponent from first round game winners will be assigned by the selection committee based on the bracket. The higher seeds would receive preferential placement in the playoff semifinal games. I know that was a lot to take in, so hopefully you're able to keep track at home. Personally, I love it. I think 8 teams actually might have been a better place to start, but I'm all for allowing more teams a shot at competing for a national championship. Yes, I'm aware that only a handful of teams are actually going to have a realistic shot at winning, but I think this adds a lot more excitement for the teams that end up making it. It also adds much more excitement to the regular season, as more teams are going to be in the hunt until the end of the year. One other thing that I love about these games is the fact that they're going to be played on campus. Having home field advantage in college football is probably probably more important than in any other sport. I mean, think of some of the craziest college football environments out there, and can you imagine them actually hosting a playoff game? It's going to be insane. Also, one other thing, I think this actually is going to prevent teams from joining these super conferences. You have a much better chance of making it if you stay in your own conference. So I think this will have a chance of preventing teams from leaving and us seeing more realignment. Like I mentioned, we know only a handful of teams have a legitimate shot at winning, but this is going to make each regular season game that much more important. Also, who knows with these playoff matchups? While I don't think a 12 seed would win at all, there certainly are going to be some shocking upsets that are going to be awesome for the sport. I would be pretty shocked if teams continued moving conferences, and I think we've actually seen the end of realignment. As a Pac-12 fan myself, this seems like a really good deal for teams like Oregon and Utah, who have a much easier road to the playoff now, as opposed to being like the 5th or 6th best team in the Big Ten. Same can be said for teams in other conferences as well. Their road to the playoff just got a whole lot easier. Speaking of the Pac-12, here's the statement that they released. The Pac-12 is strongly in favor of college football playoff expansion and welcomes the decision of the College Football Playoff Board. The College Football Playoff expansion will provide increased access and excitement and is the right thing for our student athletes and fans. We look forward to working with our fellow conferences to finalize the important elements of an expanded college football playoff in order to launch as soon as practicable. Here's what the SEC had to say. This is an exciting day for the future of college football. As originally proposed, the 12-team playoff creates more access for teams and conferences across the country to compete in college football's championship event. There is work to be done to make this format a reality, but I am pleased we are now all moving in the same direction with a common purpose. I'm sure there's going to be a lot more information that comes out over the coming days, but overall, I just think this is a step in the right direction for college football. Things were beginning to get out of hand with all the realignment, and I think this is going to at least save the sport for now. I think it's exciting having so many playoff spots, allowing so many teams a shot at winning the national championship. At the end of the day, like I mentioned earlier, I still think the same teams are likely going to win, but this adds more excitement during the regular season for a lot more teams and a lot more fan bases. So, what are your thoughts on today's news? Are you in favor of a 12-team playoff? Would you have liked to see a different number, or would you have preferred for them to stay at 4? Whatever your thoughts are on the playoff expansion, let me know in the comment section down below. Before you leave, make sure to smash that subscribe button and turn on those notifications if you're new to my channel. If you love college football, then this is definitely the place for you. Also, make sure to drop a like on this video as well. It helps out with that YouTube algorithm and helps share the video with more college football fans. Plus, it only takes a second to do. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.